Let's see if we are live. Good morning, the entire world. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to our fairly early morning 30-minute yoga class. So I'm going to take a few moments in the beginning of this practice just to make sure that everybody's kind of present. Say hi to all of the dogs. Hi. And give people a chance to roll up their mats before we get started. So this is Kila. She's been my companion since I lived in Costa Rica. She's 8 years old. And she doesn't really show up in class as much. She's more of a behind-the-scenes type of dog, but she's the coziest one ever. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and roll out your yoga mat in front of your phone, in front of your computer, your iPad, your device, whatever you're using. I also today, so if by any chance you have two devices, if you have your phone and your computer, I made a little playlist on Spotify called Facebook Live. So if you want to go to Spotify, search for Yoga Girl, you can find my playlist there. If you want to play that quietly in the background, it's going to be a pretty mellow morning class. It's a really good way for us to get started for the day, kind of stretch out and feel really, really good before we head out into the world today. So if you want to turn on your playlist, you have that in the background, go ahead. I love practicing with some kind of mellow tunes in the morning. It helps keep me inspired as well. So choose if you want to do that. So as soon as you feel ready, what you're going to do, I want you to come lying down, so all the way down onto your mat. If you haven't done so already, turn your phones on silent or put them away unless you're using them for this practice. So try to really make sure you're in a space where you can find some peace and some quiet. All right? And then coming all the way lying down, so you can go ahead and choose if you want to lie down with the back of the head, just resting and the legs stretched out, or if you're comfortable to bring the soles of the feet together, letting your knees splay out. So any variation of a lying down position that feels good to where you are. I'll stay seated for a while so you can hear me a little bit better, but come all the way lying down. And then once you've arrived to that position, you can just take a moment to scoop the shoulder blades behind the body. Arms can stay down by your sides. You can keep the palms of the hands rotated up, or if you can place your hands onto your heart center, just finding a place where you can really ground yourself in this moment. And then once you've arrived there, you're going to go ahead and close your eyes. So with your eyes closed, we're going to open this beautiful morning practice. We have many, many people around the world practicing in this moment in time together as one. We're going to open this practice by tuning into the breath, but by doing so in a way where you can actually allow the space of the breath to move as it already is. So I don't want you to open this practice thinking that you have to change anything about who you are, or you don't have to immediately arrive to this deep yogic breath, but I want you to first begin by listening to the natural space of your own inhales and your own exhales. So some mornings we wake up and the breath is already very deep. Maybe you had a great night's sleep, you're feeling relaxed. And some mornings we wake up and we had a stressful moment happen, the first thing that happened when we got out of bed, or we have many things on our to-do list, lots of things to think about, and you might find that the breath is a little bit shorter. Maybe it's located higher around the top of the lungs and not so much down by the low belly. But wherever your breath is at this morning, if it's deep or if it's shallow, I want you to deeply embrace and accept the breath as it is. Just notice the space of the inhales and the exhales. See if you can figure out where inside of the body your breath is coming from. And see if you can notice where inside of the body your breath is being directed towards. And notice all of those subtle little changes of the inhale and the exhale, and maybe even the space in between the two sides of the breath. So that little gap that arrives at the end of the inhale, and that little pause that comes up at the end of the exhale. And little by little, allow these two sides of the breath to grow deeper and fuller. And as you do that, so little by little, allowing your breath to grow deeper and fuller, we'll start to arrive to an intention for this practice, an intention for this day. So it could be something that's been on your mind, something you want to create throughout this practice, something you want to let go of. You can also choose to dedicate this practice to someone near or far. But go ahead and find your intention and use your next breath in to fully seal your intention in toward the very center of your own heart. So embody that intention, make it part of this moment, of this day. And slowly exhale, deepening the breath. Next time you inhale, allow that breath to become the deepest, fullest breath you've taken all morning long. So inhale, filling all the way up. And then open your mouth, exhale, and release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, filling all the way up. Open the mouth, exhale, let go. 1 more time. You can make some noise. You're home alone. No one can hear you. So inhale, fill all the way up. And then loud and clear, open the mouth, exhale. So just really release. And then from there, bring the breath back in through the nose. You can flutter your eyes open. And then from there, so as you're lying down, I want you to go ahead and take a full body stretch. Release your legs all the way down. Stretch your arms all the way above the head to take up all the space you could possibly ever need. Full long stretch here. And then go ahead and bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. So you can rock the body a little bit side to side. Circling the knees around, just allowing the lower back to get a little massage this morning. And then circling the opposite side. And then go ahead and pause as you are. Grounding the soles of the feet down to the ground, we're going to go ahead and inhale and reach the right leg straight up toward the sky. So you can choose to hold on to the back of the thigh, the back of the calf, the toes if you can reach it. If you can't reach your toes, don't worry about it. That's not the purpose of the pose. You're just holding on to any part of the leg that feels appropriate to where you are in this moment. You're going to go ahead and pause with the leg right there, and then release the left leg all the way down. So you stretch that left leg all the way out. Let's take 5 solid breaths right here as we are. So every inhale, start drawing the right leg just a little bit closer in toward the body. Every exhale, grounding down through the left leg, the left femur, the left thigh bone, pressing onto the earth. Let's do 3 more slow breaths. So just really feeling that sensation of the back of your leg, back of the thigh, back of the calf. And then from here, very gently release. You're going to go ahead and bend the knee into the chest. You're going to place the fingers around the top of the right shin bone and give the knee a good squeeze in towards the heart and towards the armpit. And then we take a twist. So let's draw the knee over toward the left side. Roll over to the outer left hip and take the right arm and reach it all the way over toward the right. If your neck allows, you can gaze over toward the right thumb. So bringing that twist all the way from the base of the spine towards the neck and the crown of the head. Just evenly distributing that space between the vertebrae of the spine here. And then very gently, when you feel ready, you lift your gaze, look up. Gently untwist, so engage your core slightly to come back to center. Release the right leg all the way down. Take a full stretch, hands and arms above the head. Inhale. Exhale, bring both knees into the chest. And you set the soles of the feet down to the ground, and this time we'll inhale to reach the left leg all the way up toward the sky. So same thing here, choose where you want to connect. So it could be holding on to the back of the thigh, the calf, the ankle, the toes, whatever you can reach, but no judgment at all about what part of the leg you're holding on to. So the purpose of the pose is to make space and to tune deeper into the breath. So focus on that. Go ahead and keep that left leg where it is. Release the right leg down. And then start to get deeper into the experience of this moment. So every time you inhale, maybe just a millimeter at a time, you're drawing that left leg a little bit closer. And every time you exhale, you start letting go of anything that you may be carrying in this part of the body, any tension, tightness, any frustration, resentment, anything you're holding on to that you want to let go of. Now is a good time to do that. So with every exhale, feel your body becoming just a little bit lighter. And let's do our last 2 breaths. And gently start to release, so soften the stretch. You'll bend your knee into your chest, interlace the fingers around the top of the shin bone, give yourself that big, big squeeze. And from there, we take our twist. So start rolling over to the outer right hip. The hip draws over to the right. And now it's the left arm reaching all the way over toward the left. So make sure you're grounding down and rooting down to the left shoulder. And if your neck allows and you want to gaze all the way over beyond the left side fingertips, go ahead. And breathing deeply here. Softly start to untwist. So first bringing your gaze up. Engage your core slightly to come back to center. Take that full stretch, hands and arms above the head, grow super duper tall. And exhale, both knees hug into the heart, into the chest. And from here, we'll start rocking the body up and down. Oh, hi, Ringo. If you have a pet, you know what practicing yoga with your dog is like. Hi, love you. And we'll rock our way up toward tabletop position. So go ahead and place the palms of the hands down. Knees come down onto the ground, onto the earth. So I want you to line your shoulders up with your wrists, line your hips up with your knees right here. Fingers spread wide, grounding down through the palms of the hands. And now we'll inhale to gently dip the belly down, start lifting the heart through the upper arms and look slightly forward. Follow the breath as you exhale, rounding the spine, pressing the earth away, dropping your head to look down. And then continue with your breath. So you inhale, open through your heart, pull your shoulder heads back. Exhale, rounding to the spine, pressing the back body up toward the ceiling. Do a couple more rounds just like that. So on your own, with your own breath, at your own pace. This is a really good way to check in with how the spine is feeling this morning. So start to create some space, start to warm the body up. And the next time you get to a cat pose, or to a rounded spine, take a moment here to pause. Exhale a little bit deeper and see if you can deepen that round in the upper back body. Let your head relax. And then inhale, come back to a neutral space. Go ahead and tuck your toes under here. And then as you exhale, start pressing your sit bones up and back, coming into a bent knee downward facing dog. So bent knee downward facing dog. That means our heels are going to be lifted high up off the ground. You're going to press your belly toward the tops of your thighs, lift up through the sit bones, and let your lower back take up a lot of space. So creating all the space you need for the low back here. And then when you have the length of the spine, take a full breath in. As you exhale, slowly start to extend your legs. Maybe your heels drop to the ground, maybe they don't. See if there's any attachment to that from the side of your mind. Try to let that go. We'll take some time to find some movement for the body here in our down dog. So you can bend one knee at a time, extend one leg at a time. You could change your stance, create more or less space. Always go ahead and do that. So making this downward facing dog yours. And I love the first down dog of the day or the first down dog of a practice, because this down dog will tell you everything you need to know about your body this morning. So if your lower back is sensitive, the back of your legs feel tight, your wrists, your ankles, shoulders, neck, whatever is going on within the body that you might need to bring a little bit of extra awareness to, down dog will let you know. So take a moment here to settle. Wrap the triceps back, keep lifting up to the sit bone. And together with your next exhale, start walking your hands back toward your feet. And then you can go ahead and bend your knees a lot. That's perfectly okay. So softening the back of the knees walking your hands in toward your toes, and then let everything go, so folding forward. You can shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. You can ask yourself what you've said yes to this morning, what you've said no to this morning. And always finishing off, nodding your head yes, yes to this moment, yes to this body, yes to this breath, yes to this life. And now inhale, lengthen through the spine, so lifting up through your heart and your chest. Exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lift your heart. Exhale, fold to release. One more time. Inhale, make space. And exhale, fold all the way down. This time you can wrap the arms on the opposite sides of the elbows. So continue bending your knees a little bit if you need to. And then come to ragdoll pose here, letting everything go. Upper body can sway side to side. So imagining the center point of the crown of the head is dropping toward the earth. Just letting anything you're holding on to that may have been bothering you at the beginning of this week, so that spill out of the crown of the head onto your yoga mat, letting everything just float away. Go ahead and take a full deep breath in through the nose. And now stick your tongue out as you exhale. We'll go ahead and release those elbows. Palms of the hands come down onto the ground, and you can walk your hands forward until you reach downward facing dog again. Now from downward dog, inhale and sweep the right leg up and back behind you. So making our way toward a three-legged downward dog. And keep your hips squared from the beginning right here. So you're going to flex the right foot, the right toes are turned to the ground. Press the thumbs and the index fingers down to the ground, and then lift the leg a little bit higher, open the hip, and bend the knee. And as you do that, notice if there's a shift between the palms of the hands or the shoulders. We're not looking to twist the chest open or to open through the shoulders like that, but keep drawing that right armpit down. Keep the shoulders squared and start finding that space for the side waist and the hip instead. And then next time you inhale, press the right leg straight back behind you, spread through the toes. Exhale, round through the spine, shift your weight forward, and hug that right knee into the chest. Take a moment here. Following the breath, inhale, sweep the right leg all the way up and back. Exhale, right knee comes into the heart, into the chest. Inhale, sweep the right leg back behind you. And this time as you exhale, draw the right knee into the chest. See if you can pause, drop your head, and if you can reach, give your kneecap a little kiss. Inhale, press the leg back behind you. And now exhale, you're going to step the right foot in between the thumbs. So bring the right foot all the way to the top of the mat. Back knee comes down. You can soften that back foot. We'll bring the hands up onto that right knee. Take a moment here to open through the heart. So drop the shoulders down for a second. Keep that right hip hugging back so the left hip has space to come forward. And then we'll sweep both arms straight up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, and you can press the palms of the hands up and away. Give your wrist a little bit of a stretch. You can stay right here, or lift your gaze, look up. And if you want to lean the heart and the head back a little bit more, go right ahead. Beautiful. We'll exhale to release. Bring your hands down to the earth. We'll ground down to the left palm, so the palm of the left hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Engage your inner thighs fully, and then sweep the right arm straight up to the sky. Take a twist. And let's circle that right arm, so bring the right arm all the way back, and sweep it forward. All the way back, and forward. One more time. And then right arm comes up, inhale. We'll exhale the right hand straight down to the earth. Tuck the back toes under, lift your knee. Step the right foot back to meet the left, and now all of a sudden we're in plank pose. Take a moment here in plank to lengthen your tailbone toward your heels. Engage your core, hug to the midline. You can go ahead and drop your knees if you like, and then we're going to come all the way down. So releasing your legs, releasing your toes. Hands come beneath the shoulders. And we'll inhale here, lifting up to a soft cobra pose, so grounding down through the tops of the feet, engaging the legs. Exhale, bring the forehead down. Do two more of those. So very soft cobras, nothing too deep for now. Inhale, lift your heart, broaden across the chest. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale. And now exhale, lower down. Beautiful. We'll press our way through tabletop position, straight back toward downward facing dog. And now let's inhale, left leg sweeps straight up toward the sky. Take a moment here to square off your hips so your left toes are turned to the ground. Engage and lift the leg a little bit higher. And then bend the knee, open up your hip, but keep the shoulders the same. Keep the back of the neck long. And with your next inhale, stretch the left leg all the way back. And exhale, round the upper back, draw the knee into the chest. So engage your core and hug to the midline. Then inhale, sweep the leg back. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Inhale, sweep the leg back. Exhale, bring the left knee into the chest. Drop your head, give your kneecap a little kiss if you can reach it. Inhaling all the way back. And now exhale, left foot steps in between the thumbs. You're going to bring the back knee straight down toward the earth. Soften the back toes. Oh, hello, puppy. And then bring your hands onto the knee. So taking a moment right here. When you feel ready, squaring off your hips, sweep both arms straight up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, press the palms of the hands up and away. A little stretch for the wrists. You can choose to stay put right here, or if you want, lift your gaze, lift your heart, and lean everything back. You'll exhale to release, hands come down to the ground. Now grounding the right hand down to the inside of the left foot, we'll engage the inner thighs, hug to the midline, and take a twist so the left arm reaches straight up. You can lift the gaze and look up as well. And then make that big white circle, so circling the arm back and around. Back and around. One more time. And around. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, bring the hand down. Tuck the back toes under, engage the legs. Step back to plank pose, so left foot meets the right. You can drop your knees and come all the way down. Releasing the toes, inhale, cobra. Perhaps coming a little bit higher for this one. So engaging the inner thighs, tops of the feet grounding, and all 10 of your toenails pressing down to the mat. And you exhale, lower down. Do 2 more of those, each one coming a little bit higher if you're comfortable. Inhale, open and widen. Exhale down. Last one, inhale. Opening through the heart and the chest. And exhale down. Beautiful. For now, let's press back toward tabletop and make your way to child's pose. So widening through the knees, letting your sit bones sink back, hands out in front of you. And let the forehead rest on the earth. So focusing on your exhales in your child's pose. Third eye to the ground, palms of the hands grounded. And take a moment here to slow the breath back down. And the next time you inhale, let's walk the hands in. Come back to your tabletop position and press back toward downward facing dog. And then from here, let's inhale to extend the right leg straight back behind you. And now we're going to exhale, bring the right knee to the right tricep. So as high as it goes to the back of the right arm. Take a moment here, I know this is a hard place to hang out in. And then gently settle the right knee down at the back of the right wrist. So we're going to make our way towards single pigeon pose. And if you have anything going on with your knee, any old knee injuries, any old surgeries, anything happening with the knee at all, I want you to skip this pose and instead come lying on your back. So we can have the option here to move into reclined figure 4 pose, which looks exactly like this. So getting into that same part of the hip, but no pressure or risk for the joints. But if you're in pigeon pose alongside with me, and Keela, of course. Hi. We're going to try to square the hips off. So usually that means that you have the right foot much closer in toward the body. So you can really keep the top of that left thigh rotating down toward the ground. So find a variation where you feel that you can have that alignment for the hips. And then inhale, lift through the heart center. Engage the foot, the right foot and spread through the toes. And then exhale, start folding forward. So I want you to find a place where you can actually rest the forehead down onto the ground. So maybe that is placing the palms of the hands one on top of the other, resting your forehead there. Maybe coming all the way down, but I want you to really feel the sensation of the right glute and the right hip. So whenever you arrive to your variation of the pose, close your eyes. And now with your eyes closed, notice exactly where inside of the body you feel the sensation of this pose the most. It should be the right hip, the right glute, but it could also be the hip flexor, maybe on the left side, the psoas, it could be other parts of the body as well. No, every body is different. And notice what this sensation does for the state of your mind. Sometimes we arrive into a pose like this and the mind gets very noisy. It starts telling us all sorts of different things about how much we dislike the pose perhaps, or you're wondering how long are we going to stay here. Maybe thinking about what you're going to have for breakfast. Whatever's going on inside of your head, go ahead and continuously, so over and over, redirect the breath, or your awareness, back to the breath. And you can also direct your breath into the sensation you're experiencing in the right hip. So whenever a thought comes up, let that be a reminder for you to come back to the breath. So just focusing on the inhale and the exhale. Creating space and letting go. And we're going to slowly start to make our way out of this pigeon pose. So take your time, nice and easy. As slowly as you came into it, start to make your way back up. Palms of the hands grounding down to the earth. You can soften that right foot first. And we're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. So you're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the leg up, and then press your way back to your down dog. And take your time when you get here. Pedaling your feet out. Swaying a little bit side to side. Good. Just shake it loose. Beautiful. We'll move over to the left side. So inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, left knee to the left tricep. Take a moment here to engage. And then slowly lower the knee down. So slide that right leg back. And now really take some time to find the alignment for your hip that you want. So if you're on your back for the other side, change sides so you're doing the left leg, the left hip now. But you can stay on your back if you want. Back leg is straight and strong. Flexing to that left foot. We'll inhale, lifting the heart. And exhale, start folding forward. So sometimes in hip openers, specifically pigeon pose, we have the tendency to unconsciously shift tightness from one part of the body to another. So to make sure we're not moving any tightness from the hip into the neck, into the jaw, rest your head on something. If you have a block at home or a book, if you need a little bit of height, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, bring your head all the way down to the ground or to your palms. And once you've arrived to the pose, again, closing the eyes. So closing the eyes helps us get deeper into the body. Notice where you feel sensation in this moment. And know that you have the ability to use the breath to help you create space where space is needed, especially these tight parts of the body right here. Know that they're tight for a reason. We hold a lot of tension, a lot of frustration, a lot of emotion, specifically in the hips. So make a conscious decision, a conscious effort to stay present with everything that comes up in this pose. And to use the breath to help you open up. So you can imagine that your breath goes beyond the lungs, beyond the respiratory system, and that you're energetically breathing into that left hip. Every inhale creating space, and every exhale letting go. And slowly we'll start to make our way out of this pose. So take your time to soften that front foot. Palms of the hands ground to the earth. You're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the leg, and then gently, gently press your way back to that downward facing dog. Shake it out. Move your hips side to side whenever it feels good. And then from here, we're going to come to a seated position. You can do that any way you like. Maybe drop your knees, or maybe just hop across your ankles and extend your legs straight toward the top of the mat. So we'll sit up nice and tall, grounding down to the sit bones. Inhale, lift the arms up, hug your ribs in, and then exhale, start folding forward. Let your hands rest anywhere they like. So it could be to the side of the body, side of the legs, maybe your calves, your shins, your feet, whatever you can reach and still feel happy and at peace. So every inhale here, you can lift your heart a little bit further forward, and every exhale, you can melt the chest and the forehead down. Very slowly walk your hands back up. We're going to make our way toward a lying down position. So bringing your sit bones all the way down, back of the head, rest. You can keep your feet grounded to the earth. Let's make our way through one bridge. So one bridge pose. Feet will stay hip distance apart right here. Grounding down through the soles of the feet. Scoop your shoulders blades in beneath you a little bit, and then inhale, peel your hips and your spine up off the ground. Let's keep the back of the head resting as it is. Now if you want to interlace your fingers beneath the body, wiggle the forearms and the elbows a little closer together, go right ahead. And try to soften the upper glutes a little bit here. And then fully engage the inner thighs. So you can imagine you have a block between your knees or a block between your inner thighs. Keep the knees from splaying out, and then keep opening through the upper mid-back. So the heart, the front and the back of the heart is finding space. Let's take one more inhale. Release your hands and arms, and then one vertebra at a time, like a little string of pearls, start lowering the entire spine back onto the ground. And once your tailbone is down, separate your feet wider apart than hip distance and let your knees drop inward. And then from there, drop both knees over toward the left, and the knees drop over to the right. Do that a couple times. And then pause at center. Now bring your knees into your chest. Let's take happy baby pose. So holding on to the outer edges of your feet, lining up the heels with the knees, feet flex. Make sure you make it a happy, happy baby. So turn the corners of the mouth up into a big smile. You can rock the body a little bit side to side. Keep lengthening the tailbone down, relaxing the lower back. And then pause at your center, release your feet. Give yourself a big, well-deserved hug, hugging your knees in toward the chest. And then we'll release and make our way to Shavasana. So releasing the legs all the way down. Arms come down by your sides, palms of the hands rotate up, back of the head resting. And once you've arrived to this pose, this place, Shavasana, last pose of this practice, really close your eyes and allow your body to drop into the earth. So every ligament, every bone, every muscle just fully surrendering to the yoga mat and to the earth beneath you. And you can let go of any and all control you may have had of the breath throughout this practice. Come back to a perfectly neutral, a natural place. And in this Shavasana, making peace with everything our body is. Making peace with everything this moment brings us. We make peace with our past, with everything that's been before, because it's brought us here. We make peace with the future. And when we can't predict what's ahead, but we can decide how we spend this present moment. And this present moment, choosing stillness, choosing silence, choosing to come home. Now let the first movement of your body be to turn the corners of the mouth up into a big, beautiful smile. And then extend some positive movement into your fingertips, into your toes. Nod your head side to side. And take a final stretch if you like. Take up all the space you could possibly ever need. Come rolling over to one side. Take a moment here. And then make your way all the way up into a seated position. Finding a comfortable place to sit. Let's keep the eyes closed. Bring the palms of the hands together at the very center of the heart. Thumbs press against the sternum. You can bow your head down, connecting your head to your heart center. And we take this final moment of this beautiful practice to extend some gratitude. Some gratitude to your body, to your ability to move the body with the breath, to set an intention and make that conscious decision to start the day right. So repeat silently or out loud to yourself the holiest of all of our mantras. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for practicing with me today. I am so beyond overwhelmed and happy that I have a new way to connect with all of you guys from all over the globe. So I think this worked out beautifully. I'd love to do more live classes in the future. So what you can do is you can click the little follow button. So it means every time I go live with a practice or live with a class, you'll be the first to find out. I really wish you the most beautiful day and an amazing week ahead. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.